Hi Aries, welcome to the month of July. I am Ruby and this is Ruby Reads Tarot. The big one for this month, Aries, is that Mars will be going into your sign at the end of June. And with this eclipse that's taking place in the sign of Capricorn, this means a lot of freedom for you. This means a lot of personal power, and a lot of that can be in what you can draw into yourself in terms of opportunities, in terms of finances. I've got two cards here for you. I've got the Four of Pentacles and I've got the Three of Pentacles. Aries, where is it that you're really holding on? Could be to a relationship, could be to a financial situation. You're holding on for dear life. You're holding on a bit too much. It seems as if, yes, you've worked very hard to build up this relationship, this partnership, could even be your financial status. You've put in a lot of exhausting work to hold something together, Aries. Three of Pentacles, your part within something has been pretty significant. Four of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune. But it seems as if you're being asked to let go of a certain cycle, to move forward in a brand new direction, Aries. And I think you'll see with July post this eclipse, Knight of Swords, you couldn't move any quicker. Mars in your sign and Five of Wands. Aries, I think you've got to do your best to avoid conflict in July where possible. Situations are changing up and it seems as if you're coming into good luck, which means that you're now able to come out of a repetitive cycle, something that's meant that you've had to really plug into the grind with it. Five of Wands can mean that it's been really quite difficult for you. There's been lots of obstacles put in your way, people bringing their challenges and their drama forward. Whatever this commitment might have been for you, Knight of Swords is the energy that I think once Mercury out of retrograde on the 12th of July might mean that you're ready to release something really quite trivial, something quite juvenile and something quite exhausting to say the least, that maybe gave you real minimal results, minimal rewards, but yet kept you quite tied to the grind, like quite tightly tied to the grind. Knight of Swords, take my advice, Aries, and move swiftly on. Mercury goes direct, comes out of its shadow phase on the 22nd. No, it comes out of its shadow, yeah, by the 20th. But is officially over by the 12th. That's when we should hopefully see it in the sky again. Knight of Swords is asking you to take that very mercurial energy and see where it is that this conflict, be it juvenile and quite unnecessary, might mean Ten of Wands and the Knight of Wands, that the burdens that you may have been carrying, you're now ready to move on from. And that Mars in your sign energy is very direct, it's very blunt, it's very, let's just get on with stuff, shall we? For some reason with the Ten of Wands and the Four of Pentacles here, this makes me think this could be in a partnership, right? Where you really put your effort in. You really did try. You really did just keep yourself so almost like noosed to this situation that was really quite tricky to get off the ground. I think it had its good moments in that it offered a commitment to you. One that was stable, I don't know. One that involved a lot of effort, yes, perhaps. And one that involved a lot of tricky situations. A lot of drama, a lot of conflict. Nothing serious, but it was just like, you know, juvenile. That's the ice cream van, by the way. I don't think you should take the blame for this, Aries, Ten of Wands. I don't think you need to take the brunt of the blame for this. I don't think you need to feel as if you didn't try hard enough. because I think you really did. And I think if someone's going to try and flip this and make this your problem now, you know, 2 nights, both very fast-paced combustion energy, you've got to move on. This is definitely trickster energy, and I think this person would test you, and they might even run you down to the ground, all for the sake of commitment, all in the name of commitment. Wheel of Fortune though, like, you're being given a bit of a break. And if you see it as that, and if you take it as that, and if you're genuine about like living that Mars energy, that like courageous, confident, committed to self kind of energy, you'll see how a lot of things in July are present, which means your energy needs to be present, and dropping stuff that is a bit heavy. And when I say heavy, it might be something that you're carrying for other people as well, where you're doing the hard work for them. Air sign energy, either way you are charging off, I think it's safe to say, in a different direction. And I don't think it could have been soon enough. I think July brings with it that good luck that you needed. I think a lot of these retrogrades might have done you a little bit of good, because it's not only put you in a situation where you really got to see the truth of a matter, you've got to understand how a commitment that keeps you so tightly bound might mean that you're really exhausting yourself. It's exhaustative energy. It's draining you. If anything, it's kept you very small. And you will only really reach a certain level with it. Not to say that that's a bad person, it just means the energy for you is way too burdensome. 5 of Swords, 5 of Pentacles, Aries. It's been keeping you small, it's been keeping you really like in this energy of conflict, Aries. And I don't think that's 3 5s. That's a lot of conflict energy. You're kind of gone through the cycles of most of it, haven't you? You've done the poverty thing with it. You've done the real like aggressive arguing with it, and it's like real jovial kind of stuff too. It's all accumulating, it's all adding up, Aries, and it just seems as if you get to make a dash for it. If you really want the chance to just use this cosmic climate, like all this eclipse energy which lasts 6 months, like you could take this Wheel of Fortune and make the next 6 months of your life about doing some of this mental decluttering, or maybe even removing a lot of the burdens from your life. Mars goes retrograde in September. This could even mean a lot of the things that you need to surrender and you release yourself from, and a lot of that might be active participation in conflict. Because it seems as if you here, and there's only been these 2 cards for you, Aries, get the choice this July to decide if it's about the monotonous, if it's about the boring, or if it's about the opportunity to get back in your magic and get quite creative and really use this Mars in your sign energy to create those new projects, to start up those things that you've been meaning to do, to get in your magic, to use your skills to the best of your abilities without being compromised. It's kind of apparent that you really need to make a run for it. And I think you've got to do it for your own energy's sake. Because I wonder how you are feeling right now with all of this conflict and all of this burden, all for the sake of a so-called commitment, which isn't necessarily giving you anything but a lot of burdens and conflict, let's face it, and is really keeping you quite small. So if you're not really doing well in your business, if you're really feeling quite blocked financially, I would look at the external sources in your life that are consuming a lot of your energy, and how that then depicts the quality of your actual life. You might be moving. You're definitely moving in a direction that might mean that there's long distance travel, very possibly. There's not really a lot here about romance other than there is a tricky commitment that's kept you quite small. And you really do get a chance to move on from it if you decide to drop the burdens. Being the 10 of Wands, I do think you're kind of going to have to do that, moving. Aries, you're moving really quickly, Aries. Communication needs to be quite, you need to be a little bit careful. I think you really need to say what you need to say in this situation, Aries. And I think I would maybe keep an eye on levels of aggression, harmony. And maybe try your best to keep the harmony within a situation. But your creativity improves. You get an opportunity to get revived in your energy. And I think after your birthday, this is perhaps a really nice time. Even when Mars goes retrograde in September, it's just going to be a really good harmonious phase for you if you're willing to put down a lot of energy drains. If you're willing to do as you are prompted by the universe and actually move away in a situation where you know that you'll be a lot better off. Rest and rejuvenation speaks for itself, really, Aries. If you've got a lot of hooks in you and you're constantly being like challenged and battled and ready for battle, and you've got to kind of admit bittersweet sometimes when it's time to say goodbye and kind of move on. Maybe use July to make your peace with moving on, but moving on is definitely something that might be bittersweet, but it's clearly, very clearly time to go. Things will be moving really quickly for you. Things will be moving really, really quickly, and I think before you know it, Aries, I'm looking at this harmony card, like Wheel of Fortune, the Magician card. Maybe this last situationship might have been the template of exactly what you don't want. But should you decide to use this energy while Mars is in your sign to kind of co-create a story for yourself where this phase of harmonious relationships are the focus, you've got the potential to create that. Do you see how this guy's meditating and he is in nature? Maybe get out in nature this summer. Maybe find a healthy outlet for any aggression that Mars in your sign might bring to your temperament. Get out in nature as much as you can. Spend as much time as you can traveling. I think either do yourself a favor and just stop holding yourself back and belittling yourself for things that you know are clearly just not the move. Either way, it's a commitment that you know is out of date. It's sold. It's past its sell by date. Do you know what I'm saying? And you're being asked to revisit what you can change. And I think you're moving, Aries. I think you are moving in a different direction. And it might be in a direction that has got a hell of a lot less conflict in it. I think... Do you have a message? Let's go to the Rider Waite. See where you can rest. See where you can take some time for yourself. Okay. Final message for Aries. Judgment. It's decision time. This eclipse kind of forces you out of a situation, Aries. And if it involves a lot of conflicts and drama, you really got to move swiftly on. The time is now. The time is really now. Drop the burdens, Aries. It's time to move on. More so than anything, use the month of July to rest and rejuvenate. Just so that you're ready to align with harmony. And I think the energy is really potent right now, Aries. So post-eclipse season, when Mercury goes direct again, move. I think that's all I have for you, Aries. If you enjoyed the reading, do give it a thumbs up. To book a reading, visit rubyreadstarot.com. Thank you for joining me, and I shall catch you again soon. Take care, guys.